From high on the hilltop in Big B.
Heck yeah.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on a TCU head coach.
SMU, the freaking Pony Express, man.
SMU, they better be in the dang playoffs.
You are listening to the Mustang Mood Podcast. Yes, you are. This is the Midweek Mood. I'm Jay Keeler. That's Yannick Land. And we've got a very special guest today, Dr. Bryan, well, soon to be Dr. Bryan Filker. Thank you so much for joining.
How are you? I appreciate you guys, man. It's nothing. I'm doing great, man. Nothing like getting back with the fellows on a little midweek mood on a Monday.
Heck yeah. I love it. Thanks so much for joining. Bryan is the director of recruiting for SMU football. And yeah, it's a pleasure to have you back on the pod. I think maybe let's dive into the recruiting side. Something kind of big in the class of 2027 happened recently. And maybe if you could give us an update of what's happening on the recruiting trail.
Yeah, I mean, can't get really into anything specifics more than what you can kind of see on Twitter, but 27 class off and rolling, and yeah, it's an exciting time, man. You know, going out there and really taking care of business. You know, stacking wins like last week against a really good Clemson team. You know, hostile environment in the road in a place where teams don't really go in and win all that often. No, it's awesome. So those kind of things only help the recruiting efforts. You know, you start to see that kind of stuff, and you're seeing the momentum that's building. It just becomes contagious.
That's awesome.
How often, when you see like a team like us, you know, we go into a hostile environment, we win a game, how often do you see that like seal the deal on the recruiting trail for a recruit? Not necessarily for this game, just in general. Like, does it happen a lot, or is that just kind of like it's just one piece in a long puzzle, or is there ever a moment where you're like, hey, that win sealed it for me from a recruit?
Yeah, I think it kind of depends. I mean, every recruiting relationship is so different, right? As you go throughout the process, sometimes it's like, oh, a guy needs to get on campus and see what the game day environment's like, or a guy needs to see us go out there and compete on a national stage or a primetime game, or, you know, whatever it is. Like there's a million different things. Or finally getting to meet with like an academic counselor or someone at the Cox Business School or whatever it is, right? To really affirm what they think about the school and what they think about the program. So it kind of depends for everybody. It's a little bit different. I gotta say, it definitely doesn't hurt. Right, you're not in a spot where, oh man, you guys went in and beat a Power 4 in conference opponent by double digits, you know, in hostile territory. Like that's not like, oh man, you know what, I'm good. I don't want to go to SMU now. Like that's never the case.
Never happened. Oh, okay, good.
No, not to this point. I hope that doesn't. If that's the case, maybe we're after the wrong guys. But
maybe
no, it's in the inverse. I think it only helps your cause for sure.
Yeah, totally.
You get some guys that send.
SMU.
Let's go to SMU. That's all we got to do.
Let's go to SMU.
Okay, so Bryan, have you played NCAA like 25 or 26, like the game?
So I played 25. Yeah. So I'd gotten rid of it. I had an Xbox for the longest time. I was a big like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2 kind of junkie. I had a sickness, man. I played. There was one. I can't remember if it was the original Black Ops 2 when it came out. I played like 30-something days of gameplay, and I was like, I haven't gone outside in a month. I need to get rid of this thing. So I sold it so I could focus on school. But I was always a Madden guy growing up. Like I loved, for me, like the Madden gameplay, especially, you know, that in that early to mid 2000s was so clean. You had the Mike Vick game where it's just like he was a cheat code. Just like the Dante Culpepper and the Minnesota Vikings. Like they had so many. It was just incredible to go through, and half the time I would take and sim the games and just build teams. But I'll have to say, I hadn't been a big like NCAA football guy growing up. I felt like the game was as like nostalgic as it was kind of just different than the Madden game. Like it didn't really play the same way, which was fine. But I was much better at Madden. I'd go to my buddy's house and play the old game, and I'd get my ass kicked every time. So fast forward now, I played the 2025. I bought an Xbox again, did that whole thing. I played for maybe a month in the off season, and I was like, man, I'm like, I can't get into this again. I was like, I got to let back in. I got school going on. Got the kiddos. Got other things kind of taking my priorities. So I'm like, I gotta punt on this. But I see the guys play all the time. Like all the a bunch of the creative guys and some of their coaches and stuff have the consoles, and they get pretty competitive. Not so much in season, but out of season a little bit more. And they got some more free time.
So when you were playing, what was your game?
But you're familiar. Okay.
Oh, were you building dynasties in the game and in real life, or You recruited
Yeah, so I mean,
virtually?
I tried. I feel like the recruiting, I don't know, like logic was kind of broken, because it was like, okay, I'm thinking about in real life, like send a house. Like that's gonna cost me 25, VC or whatever in the game. Like what's it gonna cost me in real life? Like how do we? What is it, quote unquote, sending the house? Is it all of us
Yeah.
shooting a text to somebody at the same time or sending them a graphic or a letter? So it's not as easy as, hey, invest all of your your time and effort, into, and all your currency into somebody, and it always plays out. There's a lot more of like it depends kind of situations in real life.
Yeah.
You guys get into the game at all?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not good at it. I've played it. Obviously, I've won a few natties with SMU. You
Let's go.
gotta get a couple of those. I was really curious though as to like, what would you say? You know how they grade all the different recruiting areas of like what draws an athlete to it. I was wondering like, what do you think SMU's biggest draws? Like, what's our A plus? Like, if we had something that we're like, hey, this is like our top tier thing that just draws recruits. Like, what is that in real life? Obviously.
Yeah, that's a great question. Honestly, for me, and I don't even know if this is quantified in the game, and it might even be a cheesy answer, but like I think the people. Once you get inside the building, it's hard to quantify what that looks like, right? Like, how do you go on a game and be like, oh, their people are a B plus, their people are C, but like, I truly believe that for us, the people make such a big difference. There's something about coming to a game and experiencing what we do for a game day, like how hospitable we are and how much we really try to tailor and focus our attention to all the guys that are coming through and their family members, and being intentional with touch points. Whether it's, oh, hey, we're in Flanagan's hanging out for a pregame meal, and coaches come through and they're chatting up with certain guys, or if you have an unofficial component where someone's meeting up with an academic person to talk about the business school. Like there's so much synergy within the program and like the campus entities now too. That's really been something that's grown over the past couple years too, where it's like, okay, hey, if you need to call somebody to meet with you, you can find a way to get it done. Like everybody's really willing to chip in, and I think that a lot of that comes from President Hartzell, his vision, and the new AD Damon Evans, and everything that they're kind of doing, and then with Coach Lashley, it's like it's just a big trickle down effect of like, hey, if we want SMU to be great and we want SMU to continue to climb and thunder on and all the other catchy sayings that people are throwing around now. You got to find a way to link it all together and be in be in alignment. So that's probably that's my cheesy answer. If I had to pick another answer, I'd say probably just like location. Like I know that being in the game, that was one of the things. Like, oh, hey, the college town versus like a big city or whatever. But I think that Dallas has something for everybody. Just a few weeks ago, my fiance, my now fiance, and I went to a Dallas like poetry show that one of my professors, she's like the Dallas Poet Laureate, and they had a big poetry release. And I've never been to anything like that before. Like growing up in middle of nowhere, Ohio, they don't really have a lot of poets. So like that was so cool. I was like, this is something I've never even thought of before. But that's like a small example of like, okay, on any given Tuesday night, you can find something to do in the city that's unique. Great food scene. There's literally everything you could want. So I think probably proximity and like that location is probably that A plus.
For sure.
That's really cool.
Sweet.
So how often do you hear recruits like excited about like the big city versus like we just came back from Clemson? That's a very different environment. It's like on a lake in South Carolina, like tucked up in the woods, like very much a college town versus Dallas is, much more of a metropolitan, like lots of things to do. Like, is that, I guess, what are recruits looking for more of? Do they want that isolated, or are they looking for the, everything that you can have in the big city, big market that is Dallas?
Yeah. I think it really kind of depends on what you're going to school for, right? Or why you're selecting a program. If you're looking to go somewhere to have, I don't know the right way to say it, your quote unquote traditional college experience, right, in a small town, and it's those kind of things where everything shuts down around, the college. Like there's appeal to that, and there's a lure to that, right? And that's a cool thing. But you also got to think about, okay, a lot of those times those kids upon graduation are moving to a city like Dallas, right, for opportunity and for things like that. So it's really in the way that you shape it. And I think there's a component to, hey, if you want that small town feel, if you want more of a rural kind of feel, like you can drive, 30 minutes, any sort of direction, and you can be, slightly outside the city limits and have some more of that rural kind of feel. You got a bunch of lakes, you got a bunch of parks and trails and things that you can go and get some of that kind of feel. Then you also have, like, the city doesn't sleep. So, like, if you're coming here and you're looking to experience something different or experience something that's, I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. I guess it's like more long-term powerful, right? Like you don't know who you're going to run into at a dinner on a Wednesday night, whether it's in Lower Greenville or Knox Henderson, whatever it is, right? Or hanging out. So like you can rub elbows with people that are, future, CEOs or Fortune 500 companies, or you never know who you're going to run into. So like that's kind of an exciting possibility. It's like any person you meet, any interaction can be like really powerful, right? So I think it really just kind of comes to the question of, you ask the kid, like, hey, what's most important to you? And you kind of think about the way they phrase it. Like, oh man, I like to fish. I like to do it. Cool. We got you. Like if you're really intentionally listening to what they're saying, you can find somewhere in Dallas, and plug them into that kind of scene.
That's cool.
awesome.
You kind of like
that's awesome
described
on
our
the recruiting
Saturday
trail.
night. Oh dang! Sorry,
That was the Saturday night.
This was with the SMU connection. At one time, right after the game, we were having conversations with multi-millionaires with private jets and first-round draft picks and regular SMU fans just there for a good time. All of the above you can find in Dallas, and then sometimes they travel to Clemson, South Carolina. But that's what Dallas and SMU. That's what that connection can be, which is really cool.
So what I'm hearing is that you're one step closer to securing that status jet deal that you've been aiming for.
We're aiming for it. Let's see if
this
Billy
close.
can hook us up.
We're gonna lean in on this relationship hard and see if we can hitch a ride sometime.
Speaking of that, there's a couple of things. I was listening to your guys' most recent show, and I'm kind of I thought we were friends, and this whole time I've been offered any of Summer's pet treats or anything from the MustangMood.com. I mean, these
Brian,
are things that I figured would be on the
same
page by now, but man,
we got you.
That is true.
Brian's
been on several times. We got to get him something.
We'll get you some Summer's pet treats, and we'll email you a discount code to the MustangMood.com right after this.
I appreciate that. Awesome.
Thanks for the plug.
I'm guessing you have a dog then.
I've just heard that they're a great, high protein treat, and they're safe for human consumption as well. So I just want to see what the fuss is all about, man.
Oh, yeah, man. I haven't tried them myself, but the Jay can definitely attest to whatever they taste like. But I'll leave that in his department.
Hey,
I'll report back to you guys afterwards.
Yeah.
Speaking of high protein treats, Brian, I just saw on Twitter a few minutes ago of what you had for dinner. Do you want to explain that to the audience? Yeah,
so I mean, I've never really been much of the phone eats first kind of guy. It's always been more of my mom's forte. I mean, she's an expert. Like she'll pop on, she's got all the settings and all the lighting and everything. And then my fiance Bria is really good at that too. So I've been trying to take notes, right? Try and get on there and see, okay, what's the angles look like. All to be said, I mean, surf and turf, man, a Victory Monday dinner, which is great. So Mondays in general are like a family dinner night. So like if you got the kiddos or the significant other, whatever, that wants to come through and be a part of that, Coach Lashley's really trying to open up and find ways that we can get family around, because they're so busy, so much going on, so many competing interests and priorities. It's good to be able to take kind of a pause and have a nice family meal, whether it's at home or at Flanagan's, right? And our training table staff does such an incredible job. Like they become almost a part of the family in a sense. Like they're out there cheering on game days, and they're running around doing all their pregame stuff, and you're with them throughout the week. You're seeing you through the highs and the lows, and always having a smile on their face and being there to support you. And they whipped up an incredible some steak, some lobster tails. We had some Cajun pasta. Some nice, almost like Texas Roadhouse style rolls and the cinnamon butter.
Ooh, come on!
The best lemonade in the Metroplex. I swear. I don't know what they put in this lemonade, but it's unbelievable. I I've been trying to lose some weight, so I've been trying to stay away from it. But man, it's so good.
It's
so
hard.
Every week,
You're like this.
yeah, it's so hard, man. But every week when we win, you got some sort of variation of that. So like last week we had steak and crab legs, and they've got other things too for folks that aren't big on the seafood. So they find ways to really take care of us and make you feel special and really enjoying that win. And Coach Lashley talks all the time about you got to take the time to enjoy the wins because it's hard to win in college football, especially the way that we've been winning in conference play over the past 3 seasons now. Like those are things that are you're almost in kind of like uncharted territory in some respects, right? From the conference conference record standpoint. So you got to find ways to enjoy it, and this is one of those ways.
Yep, our conference, our ACC conference record is undefeated. We have we're batting 1,000 right now in the ACC. So, hey, hard to top
Knock
that.
on all the wood, man. No, absolutely.
I was about to say we're about to play one of the best defenses and one of the best running backs in the conference. So let's knock on some wood there for sure.
They're incredible. They're incredible. They're going to be. They play incredibly hard, and I don't want to get into all the specifics. It's not really my realm. I probably couldn't break down the defense for you if I wanted to, or wouldn't be as great as the way that Coach Woods or Coach Simons would break down their offense. But no, I mean they're a really talented team, really hard nosed. They play hard, and there's no easy outs, especially on the road. So we got to go in another road trip and take care of business.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
I mean, this is the team that took Georgia Tech to overtime. So
yeah, and depending on your opinions of officiating, I mean, you don't know how that game could have played out. I remember there's some controversial things there on the back end. Not my area to decide. It played out the way they played out, but no, they gave Georgia Tech everything they could handle.
Yeah, for sure. What were you saying, Jay?
I was saying that, and that's the reason you got your Doom shirt on today. It's good.
That is. I can now. Yeah. Well, let me plug this real quick. So now, pretty much no one that's watching this podcast will get this reference, but that's okay because this is the original RPG shooter from the early '90s, and it's this guy. It's called Doom. We're bringing the Doom to Wake Forest this week because this guy goes into hell and kills and slays demons, and we're gonna go slay these demon deacons as we go to Wake Forest, and we're going to get a dub this week. I'm putting my money on it right now. We're getting this dub. I'm all in. Putting my name on the line.
Isn't that saying too the Doom, or isn't that from like what Big AJ and the Rizzler and those guys? Don't they have something like that? The Doom meter. We bring the Doom.
Bro, I don't know.
Wrong.
I'll be honest. So I'm a bit of a hypocrite here because I've never played Doom, but I just know the premise of it, and I was like, I got to get this shirt for this week and wear it for it. But I've never actually played the game, so I know very little around it, but I just wanted to do it for the podcast.
We appreciate the transparency. No, that was do it for the bit, man. That's great. I love it.
Appreciate that.
That's what it's all about here. We might be moody on the Mustang Mood, but we're also we keep it a buck.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
I'm super excited.
What was Jeffrey Imba saying that McDonald's slogan in France was? Like,
it was
be your whole self.
You can have it. No, have it your ways, Burger King. It was be your whole self or something along those lines.
Something like
Yannick
that.
is just embodying that, and so
I'm being myself right now.
Hey man,
recently
he's been bringing it. Shout out Jeffrey, man. He's been doing everything you could want from him. It's been fun to watch him.
He came over to the sideline after the game, this Stanford game, gave us both a huge hug, and then we were dripping wet afterwards because
we were dry before, soaked afterwards. It was so much sweat, it was unreal. I've never had somebody do that where it was that much sweat that just transferred all at once. It was incredible.
That's incredible, man. Once in a lifetime opportunity there.
Oh yeah, I'll be telling my kids about that one. That was top 10 moment in my life there.
Yeah.
He's putting it all out on the field, and it shows. And so are the rest of the ponies. Huge victory this weekend in Clemson, South Carolina, and another one this weekend. Not a game, knock on wood. Another game this weekend in North Carolina. And excited about everything going on in the Hilltop. Bryan, thank you so much for joining the podcast. If people wanted to like follow you or learn more about you or what you're doing, where could they go?
Yeah, on X at Bryan Filker, BryanFilker, or LinkedIn. We've been doing some cool stuff recently. I don't know if y'all been seeing, but a little professional development series for our students and some of our post grad folks that are here with us.
I see it all over LinkedIn.
Trying to find good. I'm glad it's working then. But no, trying to find ways to connect people throughout the industry, and there's so many like just great stories about how people have gotten to the roles or where they're at, and there's so many people that are willing to pay it forward. So just trying to find a way to use my platform, right, to help other people build those connections, because you never know. Like we would love to take and hire all 30 people that are working with us and putting their time in, but the reality is you got to spread your wings and find your way. And if I can be a footnote in the story, then awesome. But we've been tapping into that lately. So if you enjoy that kind of content, or hey, even if you wanted to get on there, if you're someone in the sports world and you want to chat with our students and kind of open up some opportunities and some pathways there, we're open. We're booked out through the rest of October and November, but we got some spots open in December. Looking forward to kind of furthering some connections there.
That's awesome.
Heck
Well,
yeah.
thank you so much for joining, and everyone go check that out. LinkedIn. I'm not following you on LinkedIn yet. I'm slacking. So I
got to.
That's a
There's
shame,
a lot of
man.
good stuff up there.
And
Brian told me to. He
Everyone
said, "Hey,
else
connect
get-
with these people." So I'll just start connecting with random people that are on the staff. Just can't help it. Brian
Like,
told
who-
me to, so I
who
have
is
to
this
listen.
guy?
They have no idea who I am. I'm just like,
Absolutely.
"Hey, sometimes I'll add a note and I'll just be like, "Hey, Brian said to connect with you," and they'll just be like, "All right."
It's like, who's Brian?
I mean,
That's great.
That's awesome.
That's great. Well, thank you.
You missed
guys.
it
I appreciate
earlier.
you. Appreciate your time.
SummersPetTreats.com and the MustangMood.com. That's where you can find our great sponsor and our merch and everything else around the Mustang Mood. So go check it out. And until next time, until Saturday afternoon, we'll be back with you. Pony up.
So, pony up.
Pony up.
Thanks, guys.